So Afghanistan, we talk about this as having geostrategic important, and there is a two issue involved with it, internal and external. So we cannot have a conventional war with Pakistan in a nuclear era. So while we're having any kind of war with Pakistan, we can open second front in Afghanistan. So it is having very important geostrategic importance. Shifting the theater of the war from Kashmir to Afghanistan. We can consider shifting the theater from a war from Kashmir to Afghanistan. And second, Afghanistan may have become a safe haven for terrorism. Second, in the case of Taliban comes to power, it will have psychological impact on the terrorist group on Kashmir. In case Taliban comes to power in Afghanistan, it will have psychological impact on terrorists in Kashmir. It will strengthen their willpower and then confidence in Pakistan. So ये जो terrorist होंगे कश्मीर में, they will be very confident about their confidence in Pakistan. Pakistan का confidence बढ़ेगा ऊपर से it will strengthen their willpower. It will have a psychological impact on terrorist groups in Kashmir कि तालिबान रूल कर रहा है अफगानिस्तान में. So it will have a positive psychological impact on the terrorist group in Kashmir. It will strengthen their willpower and their confidence in Pakistan. So it will strengthen their confidence on support of Pakistan. We should not forget that all the attacks on a foreign invasion in India through northwest region. So all the attack that happened through the foreign invasion in India that happened through northwest Pakistan. So it is having geoeconomic significance, access to Central Asia. It is having a wide resource. So first of all, if geoeconomic importance because it is central access to Central Asia, its resources markets. It is access to West Asia. एक्सेस कहाँ कहाँ प्रोवाइड करता है तो अफगानिस्तान है सेंट्रल एशिया एंड वेस्ट एशिया का एक्सेस प्रोवाइड करता है इसके काफ़ी रिसोर्सेज और मार्केट है एंड इट हैज़ अ ह्यूज पोटेंशियल ऑफ ट्रेड एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट सो इट हैज़ अ ह्यूज पोटेंशियल फॉर ट्रेड एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट and geopolitical reason if we talk about so it's built India soft power in the third world so it builds India soft power in the third world Afghanistan support is important for India's initiative like CCIT that is comprehensive convention on international terrorism. So Afghanistan support is important for Indian initiative like CCIT, that is Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. It is important for the success of SARC. What should be the India's aim in Afghanistan? So Afghanistan it has economic, geopolitical, geostrategic importance. It builds India's soft power in the third world. And Afghanistan support is important for the India's initiative like CCIT, Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. It is important for the success of SARC. What should be India's aim in Afghanistan? As expressed on various occasions, India wants peace and stability in Afghanistan. So India wants peace and stability in Afghanistan. Current scenario we talk about. Afghanistan never had peace and it's called as a cursed land. Why never had peace? Strategic location. It is at the crossroad of the West Asia, South Asia. So Afghanistan has never been peace because of its strategic location. It is at the crossroad of West Asia, South Asia, then Central Asia and Northeast Asia. So it is in the crossroad of West Asia, South Asia, and then Central Asia, Northeast Asia. It is the center of gravity of international politics. Afghanistan have always been a place of what is called great games. It has been always been a place for what called great games. So what are the great games? According to the theory of geopolitics, one who controls the Central Asia, heart of the Asia will control the Eurasia. According to the theory of geopolitics, one who controls the Central Asia, heart of the Asia will control the Eurasia. So one who controls the Central Asia means heart of Asia will control Eurasia and one who controls Eurasia will control the world. Why? Because of its resources and its population and because of its strategic location and it is occur at the crossroad of we have seen that is West Asia, Central Asia, Northeast Asia and South Asia. So prominent grain games. So modern times it was between the Russian Empire and British Empire. So prominent gate games first was between the Russian Empire and British Empire. It resulted into Afghanistan becoming an idle buffer state. It resulted in Afghanistan becoming an idle buffer state. So buffer state can never be sovereign. So Britishers made Durand line between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So second game was between USA and USSR. USSR was successfully maintaining its control over Afghanistan till 1989. So USSR was successfully maintaining its control over Afghanistan till 1999. Ultimately, USSR was successful in ending the influence of USSR from Afghanistan. What strategy USA adopted? Same strategy Pakistan adopted for India. USA built an army of Islamic fighters as a Mujahideen. So USA built an army of Islamic fighter Mujahideen. So Islamic fundamentalism is a reason is USA. So Pakistan become a sanctuary for training of the Mujahideen. So Pakistan becomes sanctuary for training of Mujahideen. Afghanistan, despite being a Muslim country, was living peacefully in a communist state because communism does not believe in the God. And it was possible because the people of Afghanistan were very advanced and very educated. That's why communism, who doesn't believe in God, is still despite being a Muslim country, they were peacefully living in a communist state. So Afghanistan was not like the present. The people there were highly educated and they could make a separation between personal and politics. Political, so they could make a difference between personal and politics atmosphere. And communism is an ideology that is present and successful in Islamic country that is self. So against the ideology of proverb or the religious feeling played a religious code promoting. Now third grade game. This is a this is the present game, third grade game, and the biggest player is USA. And why USA in Afghanistan? First one is to containment of China. Afghanistan से उग्योर्स को control कर सकता है. Second, China is building its hegemony and hard power and economic power, soft power. So China want to replace euro with yuan. So USA hegemony will go. USA is promoting Islamic militancy to serve its purpose. And so epicenter of proxy war is Pakistan. Second aim is of drug trafficking. Taliban, when there was a Taliban in power, there was no drugs in Afghanistan. But USA promoted this drug trafficking to finance a war in Russia. And USA CIA supporting European trade of Afghanistan. So major market and Russia and Europe. So finance terrorism. Opium trade and promotion of the major market. The major buyer in Russia and the Europe. So major buyer in Russia. So the authority. So this is one of the reason why the reason the Russia and Europe is against the US policies because they are promoting the this opium trade in Afghanistan and the major buyer in Russia and Europe. China and Afghanistan, China want to increase its influence and tap its resources there and its places for investment contain the engagement between Taliban and Uyghur. The main reason for China is to contain the engagement between Taliban and Uyghurs and to tap the resources. The Russia life is based on the oil and gas export. All the pipe through Central Asia is through Russia. So सारी pipeline है जो Central Asia में जैसे जो भी pipeline है वो Russia के through जाती है Central Asia की pipeline. So Russia life जो है is based on the oil and gas support. So USA want alternative to pipeline. So Chechnya Caucasus region में है USA supports Slavic militancy in Chechnya. So reason of oil gas, Russia always have a potential to become a major power. If Russia do not expect, Russia will disintegrate. Russia will maintain dialogue with the Taliban so to maintain that fire does not reach Chechnya. So Russia wanted to maintain dialogue with the Taliban so that fire does not reach Chechnya. Government of Afghanistan. So Taliban coming to the power. Pakistan is just sitting there. India has a problem in reaching. Even if India was there, discussion won't be much help to India. So Taliban coming to power, Pakistan they will rely on the Pakistan, and the problem is that because of the accessibility, Taliban cannot rely on India. Even if India wanted to be there, it won't be much help to India. Taliban won't help because of structural compulsion. It is controlled by Pak. Taliban won't be help for India, much help for India because of the structural compulsion and is controlled by Pakistan. So Russia want to ensure that Islamic militancy does not reach Chechnya and Dagestan. So it is Dagestan. So this is Dagestan and Russia. Dagestan. And why Iran in Afghanistan? Iran want influence of Saudi Arabia and protect itself from Sunni Orthodox Islamic militancy. So this Iran want to protect itself from Sunni Orthodox Islamic militancy. Saudi Arabia they want to strengthen the Sunni Orthodoxy Islamic militancy to control Iran. Turkey wants to gain leadership in Islamic world. Turkey want to gain leadership in Islamic world. All the countries are approaching Pakistan. Reason is location. Rentier state. This is the epicenter of terrorism. Pak interest in Afghanistan. And Pak want to have a strategic depth in Afghanistan. It is whoever is ruling Kabul should be controlled by Pak. Pak want that it's whoever is controlling Kabul should be controlled by Pakistan. Who is ever ruling Kabul should be controlled by Pakistan. Why Pakistan want control of Afghanistan? Because Pakistan's biggest nightmare is Durand Line. It is a colonial boundary artificially dividing Pashtun. So Durand Line is a colonial boundary that is artificially dividing Pashtun. Pashtun want either a separate state or want to merge with Afghanistan. Hence, Pakistan fearful of losing its territory. Fear multiply when India is present in Afghanistan. Besides ever, Afghanistan serves many objectives of the Pakistan foreign policy, including containment of India. So Afghanistan serves many of the objectives of Pakistan foreign policy, means including in which containment of India. Why India is there? It is vital for India to be present in Afghanistan for geostrategic and geo-economic reasons. So it is vital for India to present in Afghanistan for geostrategy and geo-economic reasons. This is a proxy war. The nuclear countries cannot fight a conventional war. Pakistan will never let Afghanistan live in peace. They have a habit of living under the tribes because Afghanistan always have a habit of living under the tribe. And tribal chief in the central authority will not be strong. And always tribals the central authority should not be strong. Worst consequences. There can be permanent civil war in Afghanistan. There will be no peace and stability. So who are the sufferers of civil war? The biggest sufferer will be Afghanis. There has to be consolation among themselves. Most vulnerable country is India. India is the weakest among the great power. And India has a weak amount of leverage over Pakistan. Either there will be terrorist attack in Afghanistan or India. Afghanistan and India are natural ally, a natural partner, but India faces huge disadvantage in the terms of accessibility. Saudi Arabia is not that critical for India as Iran, as Iran is. So we have unnecessarily alienated Iran. India's Afghanistan policy was not made in Delhi, but it was made in Washington policy. And Washington was dictated by Pakistan. Actually, we were conducting Pakistan-Afghanistan policy in Afghanistan. Pakistan has drawn the red lines. Indian forces will not be used even as a peacekeepers. Military footprints of India and Afghanistan. US compel India not just stick to the soft power diplomacy, but Afghanistan is not a place where India can be playing justice of power. That Afghanistan is not a place where USA and Pakistan is always involved, where India can place justice of power diplomacy, outsourcing their own security. Was no other option, but we have military. There is no other option but to have our military footprint, at least a part of United Nations peacekeeping force. So there is no other option but to have a military footprint, at least as a part of United Nations peacekeeping force. And US was supposed to be present there to stop divert attacks from Jammu and Kashmir and Afghanistan. We do have to divert attack from Jammu and Kashmir, Afghanistan. What should be India's policy? India should not have excess reliance on the USA for its security. So India should not have excess reliance on USA for its security. Strengthen the relation with Iran. What else India can do? Work with the regional country, including China. So India should not have excess reliance on its security. We have to strengthen our relationship with Iran. What else India can do? We have to work with the regional country like China. Afghanistan will in the Pakistan hand will become one space. The second option is that we want connect Central Asia. So we need to work on INCT, means in that is North-South corridor. So strengthen connect Central Asia policy. We need to strengthen connect Central Asia. So India has a Central Asia so connect policy. Strengthen connect area policy. Keep on talking about Taliban. Explore the possibility of any fissure with the Afghanistan Taliban. So keep talking about Taliban se baat karni chahiye, and there should be possibility of any fissure between. So we will to explore करना चाहिए possibility of fissure between Afghanistan and Taliban and Pakistan. कि Taliban and Pakistan के बीच में कोई fissure हो तो we should explore that. Explore the possibility of fissure between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and India should start thinking about having its own military footprints. So no country can become a great power only or recognize a great power only on the basis of soft power. So no country can become a great power recognizes a great power only on the basis of power. India is the most vulnerable to threat emerging in Afghanistan. So which is the most vulnerable country? India is the most vulnerable country to the threat emerging in Afghanistan. If India does not have military footprint, India will have no leverage in their political scenario. So if India do not have military footprint, India will have no leverage in their political scenario. So security forces and intelligent forces. So India will have no leverage in political scenario. If it does not have military footprints, India would not have any leverage in political scenario. Indians are going to die. See where there is a less damage. Besides $3 billion investment, India is not seen as a stakeholder. India should force the government of Afghanistan to invite Indian forces. What has been India policy? Since the end of the Cold War, India has restricted itself to the soft power and diplomacy. India has already outsourced a security concern to USA. Now, earlier outsourced the security concern to USSR and now to USA. India needs self-reliance in addressing a security concern. Unfortunately, India foreign policy does not reflect a strategic calculation and it is too much influenced by reputational factor. So Pakistan is having geographical advantage and strategic presence. But India, there is no strategic presence, and Indian foreign policy doesn't reflect strategic calculation, and there is too much influence by reputational factor. So since independence, what has been our foreign policy? Kautilya theory of Mandal Siddhant. So what is the Kautilya theory? Mandal Siddhant. Immediate neighbor is, if immediate neighbor is a threat, then neighbor's neighbor is your friend. If immediate neighbor is your enemy, then neighbor is your friend. So it is a Kautilya Mandala Siddhant. So Afghanistan is India's natural ally, and for India, it is very important that India should have relationship with any government of Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is naturalized, so it's very important for India to have relationship with any government in Afghanistan. It is essential for India to for right to maintain this presence in Afghanistan. So it is essential for India to maintain its presence in Afghanistan. What does it imply? Afghanistan should not become a single strategic space combining Pakistan. So it is most important thing that Afghanistan should not become a single strategic space combining Pakistan. After independence, India got an advantage. Why? Afghanistan was ruled by a communist state and was under the influence of USSR. We had good relations with we had a good relation with the government of Afghanistan since 1989. But at the end of the Cold War and withdrawal of the USSR, victory of Pakistani faction Mujahideen that is controlling Kabul, that Afghanistan there is a place for proxy politics. So communist government fall in Afghanistan means there was a defeat of India. However, India managed to reestablish relations with government of Afghanistan that is led by Mujahideen because there was a lack of solidarity in Afghanistan. There was a lack of internal solidarity in Afghanistan after Cold War, after 1989. So it works in India's favor. So Afghanistan, if we talk about Afghans, they are freedom loving. But Pakistan, what it want to micromanage. And whenever someone comes to the power in Afghanistan, they start feeling that Pakistan intrusion as uncomfortable. And is this trend happen? For example, wherever present president came to power under the support of Pakistan, but they start to distancing themselves from Pakistan because Pakistan wanted to micromanage the affairs of Afghanistan and they wanted to install him only as a puppet. So it also happened that a distance come between the Pakistan and Taliban ruler, and that created space for India. It is possible. It was possible to explore the fissure between among Mujahideen. It was possible to explore the fissure among Mujahideen. It was possible to exploit the distance between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now we talk about third phase. Afghanistan is under Taliban. Taliban in the Swat Valley. Children. What were the Taliban? They were the children of Afghan refugees during the civil war in Afghanistan. So there was a civil war in Afghanistan. So because of the civil war, they came to Pakistan. They were the Afghan refugee. And Pak established a madrasa in the Swat Valley. Saudi Arabia is having an enmity with Iran. And finance for these services are coming from Saudi Arabia. So Pakistan established a madrasa in South Valley for these Afghan refugees that came to South Valley during the Afghanistan civil war. They established madrasa in the South Valley. Saudi Arabia had an enmity with Iran, so he financed these services are coming. So finance of the madrasa is coming from Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia has enmity with Iran. Saudi go for financing Sunni Orthodox variety of Islam known as Salafism and Wahhabism. So Saudi go for financing Sunni variety of Islam, Salafism and Wahhabism to contain Iran and to use it against Iran and India. Mujahideen were pro-India. Pakistan started raising Taliban. And with the help of the Pakistan Taliban control, Pakistan Taliban established control over Kabul. Mujahideen they have to shift towards the northern Afghanistan. So Mujahideen they have to be shift towards Afghanistan. So there was Afghanistan and they have to Mujahideen have to shift toward northern Afghanistan and Taliban established control over Kabul. This group came to be known as another alliance. So Mujahideen they have to shift it to the northern Afghanistan. They came to be known as another alliance. Taliban established control over southern Afghanistan, and Mujahideen had to be shifted towards north and called Northern Alliance. India did not recognize the government by Taliban and continued its links with Northern Alliance. So India continued its link with Northern Alliance and does not recognize the government led by Taliban. Analysis proved to be fatal mistake for India not recognize government in Kabul. What cost India paid? The hijack of IC-841. Hijack of IC-814, and that led to the release of Masood Azhar. So hijack of IC-814 and release of Masood Azhar, and Taliban was recognized only by three states: Pakistan, USA, and Saudi Arabia. India learned the lesson that India has to remain in touch with whoever is ruling Kabul. So India learned the lesson. India has to remain in touch with whosoever is ruling Kabul. And USA in war in Afghanistan in 2001, USA could defeat Taliban in 3 months. So USA war in Afghanistan in 2001, USA could defeat Taliban in 3 months. Taliban containment of Iran and Russia. So, so Taliban is important for the containment of Iran and Russia. December 2001, Bonn, Germany, Conference on Restructuring and Development of Afghanistan. So in 2001, there was a conference on reconstruction and development of Afghanistan in 2001 in Bonn, Germany. So India emerged as a major contributor. So India so far has contributed 3 billion US dollars as a part of development partnership of Afghanistan. So India as far as contributed $3 billion as a part of development partnership in Afghanistan. So most strategic initiative is Jaranj Dilaram Highway. So most strategic initiative is Jaranj Dilaram Highway. Construction of the building of the Parliament, Salma Dam means Friendship Dam. Electricity transmission line, Indira Gandhi Hospital for Children, supply for wheat and protein biscuits for Afghan children. Indian NGO has been working for the development capacity building. So Indian NGO has been working for the development capacity building, training Afghanistan Defense Forces India, organizing business and investment summit in Delhi. So organizing business and investment summit in Delhi, and investment in Hajikak coal mine. So investment in Hajikak coal mine analysis. India has developed a positive image among the ordinary Afghanistan. Since India restricted itself to the development role, it does not recognize a key player in Afghanistan equations. Afghan power equation. So India has restricted itself to development role. So it is not recognized a clear player in the Afghanistan equation. Clear player in the Afghan power equation. So major power ignored India in any of the major formal talks, and whether quadrilateral process or USA talk with Pakistan. 2010 there was a London conference. Background was Obama made electoral promise to come out of the Afghanistan war. So 2010 there was a London conference. तो कहाँ हुई थी लंदन में कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई 2010 में, that Obama made electoral promise to come out of the Afghanistan war conference. At London conference, USA accepted Pakistan proposal. So USA accepted Pakistan proposal to talk with good Taliban. What does it imply? USA will reconcile with the good Taliban. देखो USA निकलना चाहता था अफगानिस्तान से, तो उसने बोला कि ठीक है, you should talk with the good Taliban. USA से बोला, तो USA ने बोला कि ठीक है, and good Taliban for Pakistan means bad Taliban for India. So India's response, India has been postponing strategic partnership with Afghanistan, and despite repeated requests by Afghan government led by Karzai. So India is, despite repeated requests by Afghanistan government led by Karzai, has been postponing strategic partnership with Afghanistan. Why India has postponed? USA pressure. USA was working under the Pakistan pressure. So India USA do not have a strategic convergence in the northwest part. India USA may have strategic convergence in the Asia Pacific and Indo-Pacific, but India and USA do not have a strategic convergence in the northwest part. They can have strategic convergence in the Asia Pacific. So they want to spoil the relation with the Pakistan altogether. If we want to spoil the relationship of USA with Pakistan altogether, then India cannot be trusted. Because of, okay, so if they want to, why nobody want to spoil the relation with the Pakistan altogether? No country want to spoil the relation with Pakistan altogether, because India cannot be trusted, because it has a reluctance in taking a strategic decision. Because India has a reluctance in taking a strategic decision, and government will never come not completely leave Pakistan. So therefore no country can ever leave Pakistan, because what India lack is strategic decision. So there is a lack of strategic thinking in India. 2011, India became the first country to which have Afghanistan, with which Afghanistan has a strategic partnership, but India ignored Iran. We delayed the work in Chapar port. 2010, India tried to revive relation with Iran. India realized importance of Central Asia. In 2020, India launched Connect Asia policy. So India has been ignoring Asia, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Current scenario: Taliban is able to bounce back because of the consistent support from Pakistan. So Taliban is able to bounce back because of consistent support of Pakistan. Equation of the game has changed. Today, Iran as well as Russia is in support of Taliban. Once they were against, now they were supporting Taliban. So once Iran and Russia were against Taliban, but now they are supporting Taliban. Taliban is able to win because of the intelligence input provided by Russia. So Russia provided intelligence input, and that's why Taliban is able to win. So there is a proxy war is going between Russia and Afghanistan, Russia and US and Afghanistan. So there is a proxy war is going between Russia and Afghanistan, US, Russia and USA in Afghanistan. So Russia is doing what this USA is doing in Syria. So alarming development for India and Russia. Alarming development for India is Russia. China are already joined, and USA in bid to talk with Taliban. So USA, Russia, and China, USA is in a bid to talk with Taliban. Everybody is talking to Taliban, but India is appearing isolated. India's only partner is Afghanistan, is the government of Afghanistan, which may continue only for a short time. So India's only partner is Afghanistan, is the government of Afghanistan, which may continue for a short time. In Afghanistan, another force emerged, that is ISKP, that is Islamic State of Khorasan province. So that is Islamic State of Khorasan province. So India, Islamic, okay, so in Afghanistan, another force emerged, Islamic State of Khorasan province, and Islam and other countries are finding this Taliban as a lesser evil. So countries finding Taliban as a lesser evil. So current scenario of Taliban, it is internally divided. It does not have a hold like it used to have it as it was earlier. So Taliban, if we talk about, is internally divided. It does not have a hold like it used to be earlier. And Taliban is not in a is also in a mood of conciliation. 2010 Obama promised out of Afghanistan Syrian crisis. So because there was Syrian crisis and Obama wanted to shift his control to Syria from Afghanistan. Hegemony, control the trade and militancy presence. China, land route is important to end the 2 century of humiliation. So why China is there? Because China want to control the Central Asia and want to end the 2 century of humiliation. And China hegemony is important to control the trade and military presence. So Russia asserting itself, Euro challenging. So that yuan is challenging US dollar, or US can or Euro can also challenge the US dollar. And Russia is asserting itself. So USA have a strong naval presence. US has to stop land route in Central Asia. So in order to control Europe and China, and Euro and yuan from becoming the world currency, the US has to stop the land route in Central Asia. So if we talk about the crisis in Syria, the problem is from Europe. So because of the crisis in Syria, the problem is faced by European countries. There is a lot of refugee. So Chechnya, there is ISIS. Instability, that is Sufism Islam. Right now there is a Sufism Islam in Central Asia. ISIS want to impose their system. China in Xinjiang province. USA has to focus on the Middle East. So USA has to focus on the Middle East. As Iran power has been rising up, particularly after the killing of Saddam Hussein in Iran. जब से सद्दाम हुसैन को इराक में मारा है, ईरान की पावर और ज़्यादा बढ़ रही है. Because Saddam Hussein had established a balance of power. So Saddam Hussein इराक में था तो ईरान के बीच में balance of power establish की थी. But with the killing of Saddam Hussein of Iraq, Iran has been rising. So Iran want to end Israel, and ISIS has weakened Saudi Arabia as well. So USA will recognize India's role and all for the benefit. So USA have recognized India's role and all for the benefit. Taliban, we have been talking through back channel talk. Out of box thinking is needed to manage the situation. So out of box thinking is needed to manage the situation. So what is the current dilemma for India? India is still calculating whether to talk to Taliban or not. Should India talk? People of Afghanistan are against Taliban. And Taliban is dependent on the Pakistan. So we need to increase engagement with Iran and countries of Central Asia. So there is no harm in back channel talk. India must realize dependency on Taliban. We must realize the dependency of Taliban over Pakistan. It should strengthen its relation with Iran. And it should give credibility to its commitment in Central Asia. So India should give credibility to its commitment in Central Asia. Bring relation with Russia on the track. Explore the possibility of cooperation with China. So what will the best way out? If India cannot stop, if India cannot overcome its dilemma, can take bold step, either send its military footprint or wholeheartedly supports Afghanistan forces. So what will be the best way out? And if India cannot overcome its dilemma and take a bold step, either send its military footprint or wholehearted support to Afghanistan forces. Afghanistan, there is a convention forces. And Afghanistan, there is a convention forces. Who are the neighbor of the Afghanistan? Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Iran, Pakistan and China. तो पहले तो ईरान, पाकिस्तान and China. And और अगर तान में देखें तो तुर्कमेनिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान and Tajikistan. Tapi pipeline that started Gulf Kunish gas field. This is alternative to I-pipe. India, Pakistan, Iran pipeline. There is a Tapi pipeline. Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. Tapi pipeline that started Gulf Kinish gas field. Gulf Kinish gas field. Gulf Kinish gas field. There is a Tapi pipeline. That was started Gulf Kinish gas field in Turkmenistan. Heart of Central Asia conference started in 2011 and known as Istanbul conference. So heart of the Central Asia. हार्ट ऑफ द एशिया, हार्ट ऑफ एशिया यहाँ पे कॉन्फ्रेंस स्टार्ट होती है इस्तांबुल में इन 2011 उन्होंने इस्तांबुल कॉन्फ्रेंस एंड द 14 कंट्री यूएसए मेंबर नहीं है, सो यूएसए इज नॉट अ मेंबर एंड 14 कंट्री इंडिया मेंबर है. हार्ट ऑफ द एशिया कॉन्फ्रेंस स्टार्ट इन 2011 उन्होंने इस्तांबुल कॉन्फ्रेंस स्टार्ट इन 2011. Shanghai Cooperation Organization that was formed in 1996. That time it used to be known as the Shanghai Five. In 2001, after Uzbekistan joined, it became Shanghai Five. Headquartered is in Beijing. Shanghai नाम है लेकिन headquartered is in Beijing. And Turkmenistan is not a member. And it is officially neutral country in Central Asia, but practically it's pro-US. So Turkmenistan is officially neutral country in Central Asia. Practically it is pro-US. In 2005, Astana is Kazakhstan. India expressed its intention to join as a full-time members. In 2005, Astana in Kazakhstan, India expressed its intention to join as a full member in SCO. India candidature was accepted in 2015 at U5 Russia. India candidature was accepted in 2015 at U4 Russia. India joined as a full-fledged member of Pakistan in 2017. Observer member of SCO are Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, and Mongolia. Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, and Mongolia fight against terrorism and radicalism and extremism. They fight against terrorism, extremism, and radicalism. We talk about the assessment of SCO. So far, there has been no concrete advancement of SCO. Twist describe it as a the West describe it as a Asian NATO. SCO is not a defense organization like NATO. It is a security platform. Future of SCO. As China is asserting itself, SCO may gain importance future. So what is the significance of SCO for India? It is provide access to Central Asia and may have same role as the stability of Afghanistan in future. Its agenda to counter terrorism is one of the India's objective, and it is an anti-terror platform where Pakistan is also a member. It allows India to exert its strategic autonomy to balance Quad. And it is recognition of India's status as a major power in Asia and beyond South Asia. It is recognition of India's status as a major power in Asia and beyond South Asia. Now we talk about the Eurasian Economic Union. India is negotiation FTA with the Russia-led platform and was founded in 2015. Founder is Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus. The founder of the is Eurasian Economic Union. Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, and Armenia and Kyrgyzstan are also members. Now North-South Transport Corridor. This is North-South Transport Corridor. This is 7,200 km long. The North-South Transport Corridor is 7,200 km. It will link Moscow to. It is link Mumbai to Moscow. It will link Mumbai to Moscow. That is a multi-modal. It will multi-modal. And its members are Iran, Afghanistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Russia. So it is members are Iran, Afghanistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Russia. The Ashgabat Agreement, they came to exist in 2016. India joined in 2018. The Ashgabat Agreement came into exist in 2016. India joined in 2018. And provide connection between Central Asia and Persian Gulf. So it provide connection between the Central Asia and Persian Gulf. And Oman, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. So they are who are the members of this? Oman, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Qatar has left to new India, that is Kazakhstan. CPAC started Xinjiang, either into Gilgit-Baltistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Baltistan, Punjab and Sindh. So CPAC that started in Xinjiang, that entered to Gilgit-Baltistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Baltistan, Punjab and Sindh. Then One World Road Initiative, there are 6 corridors in it. First one is Western China, Western Russia, China, Mongolia, Russia. So Western China, Western Russia, China, Mongolia, Russia, Northern China, Eastern Russia. Fourth, China, Central Asia, West Asia, Western China, Turkey, West Asia, BCIM corridor. So these are 6 corridors under this China, Western Asia, Western Russia. सबसे पहले Western China, Western Russia, फिर China, Mongolia, Russia. सबसे पहले Western China, Western Russia, फिर यहाँ पे चाइना, मंगोलिया, यहाँ पे चाइना, मंगोलिया एंड रशिया. फिर नदर्न चाइना, ईस्टर्न रशिया. फिर ये हो गया नदर्न चाइना, ईस्टर्न रशिया, ये वाला पार्ट. फिर सेंट्रल एशिया, तो चाइना, सेंट्रल एशिया एंड वेस्ट एशिया, ये हो गया चाइना, सेंट्रल एशिया, वेस्ट एशिया. फिर वेस्टर्न चाइना, टर्की एंड वेस्ट एशिया. वेस्टर्न चाइना, टर्की, वेस्ट एशिया एंड देन BCIM कॉरिडोर. तो BCIM कॉरिडोर में आता है यहाँ पे बांग्लादेश, चाइना, इंडिया, म्यांमार. तो बांग्लादेश, चाइना, इंडिया, म्यांमार. फिर CPAC, एक CPAC आता है. फिर ना OIC का हेडक्वार्टर जेदा, सऊदी अरबिया. तो OIC सऊदी में there were 1968 members. There are 57 members. 40 countries are Muslim majority country and want to connect India with the Central Asia. So it is having a geostrategic, geoeconomic and geopolitical importance and to counter terrorism and radicalism. So it is having Saudi, we talk about Jeddah, Saudi Arabia 1968, and there is a first 40 are Muslim majority country. After 57, 40 are Muslim majority country. India and Central Asia. India for Central Asia is having geostrategy and geopolitical, geoeconomic importance to counter terrorism and radicalism.